Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. My name is David Hall, the manager of cooperative education at Algonquin College. We'll give it a few moments to let the waiting room fill up into the main session room. We've got a whole host of folks here today, so we're looking forward to a good session. We'll give it about 60 seconds, let the room fill up, and then we will get started. So welcome. And please don't be shy to, if you're comfortable, turn your camera on if you'd like. We enabled that for this session just to get a bit more face-to-face, a bit more community. If that's for you, go right ahead. If it's not for you, hey, that's no problem either. So whatever you're comfortable with, we will start in just a few moments. All right, so it looks like we've got our room full. Bear with me here. I'm going to share my screen and we'll get the presentation started. Great. All right, good morning, everyone. I hope you can see my screen. I'll probably get a thumbs up or two from around there. Awesome, great, good morning. All right, so welcome everybody to our employer relations session for a Bachelor of Automation and Robotics. We're really excited about this program at Algonquin College. It's one of our new Bachelor programs that we have co-op students launched for next year. So they'll be out in the workforce trying to help our organizations. So that's the purpose of today's event. The agenda is one that we are used to. We've done this event several times, and now we've done it a few times in the virtual environment. So it seems to go quite well. On the screen, you'll see our plan for this morning. It'll start with some opening remarks from leadership around the college. I'd like to, of course, thank our president, Claude Brule, for being here, making some time out of his schedule to be here. We really appreciate that. And also our dean from the School of Advanced Technology, Eric Marois. He's here as well. And we're going to hear some words of welcome from both of them, which is great. After that, myself and my colleague, Mark Weir, we're going to provide some remarks around cooperative education, what it means for this program. And then we'll get into the nuts and bolts of this program, this really exciting program. Chandika is here from the program itself. She's our program coordinator, and we'll be able to talk about some of the skills and the experiences and what these students can offer to your organization. We round out the morning with an opportunity to hear from one of our employers who's worked with our co-op team before, and of course one of our students who's of course why we're all here to serve our learners and to serve our employers as well. And then the last thing on the agenda is the Q&A, which we will do some live questions at the end. Just a little bit here. There's a few people on the call from the college. I've introduced our president and our dean. Myself, I've introduced at the beginning, David Hall, the manager of co-op. And then you'll also see on the screen Mark Weir. He is a part of our employer relations team, and Leanne Feeney, who's part of our marketing team in the co-op department, who's really put this together and running the show for us. So thank you both for being here. You have the ability to turn on your camera and your microphone when you speak, so you're encouraged to do so. You can turn your camera on as long as you want during this presentation, and then we'll ask for the microphones, of course, to be muted until you do decide to participate. We also have visitors on YouTube today, so if Zoom doesn't work in your workplace, we've made the accommodation to stream this out to YouTube as well. And you may be able to use you will be able to use the commenting section on YouTube and also the chat box here in Zoom if you'd like to ask us some questions in real time. And Mark Weir will be in the Q&A section to answer those questions. And if it's a question that Mark thinks would be great to be addressed as a group, he'll bring it forward in our Q&A section at the end. So with the housekeeping out of the way, I'd like to welcome our president and CDO, Claude Brule. Claude, thank you for being here and thank you for saying a few words.
My pleasure, David. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for joining us this morning. Bonjour à tous et à toutes. It's wonderful to be with so many of our partners here today. It's because of partnerships like this between the college and industry that's what makes Co-op such an invaluable growth opportunities for our learners. And it creates a consistent pipeline of talent for our employers. And we've seen this throughout the years as we've grown our Co-op programs. So first of all, thank you for your continued support. Today, we've come together to discuss, as David mentioned, cooperative education at Algonquin College, showcase the talents that our learners bring from our brand new Bachelor of Automation and Robotics program, and what the students can do for your organization through Co-op. And those opportunities will start this spring of 2021. As you know, Co-op's at the core of what we do here at the college, preparing the workforce of tomorrow for meaningful and rewarding careers leading to lifelong success. Launching these new careers helps to power the economy in the National Capital Region by providing you with the regular stream of top-notch talent that you need to grow your business. In fact, Co-op is so important to us at this college that it's been embedded in our strategic plan for the past several years. And it is in the DNA of our team. Let me tell you, they don't unturned any stones to find Co-op opportunities and make sure that we have placements and talent for you. Our true north ambition is to become the leader of all Ontario colleges on the Co-op front. And I can tell you that we're well on our way to achieving that ambition. Not only are we now one of the largest Co-op program in the Ontario college system, but we're also nationally accredited for excellence in Co-op by the Cooperative Education and Work Integrated Learning Canada organization. Now, that's a testament to the quality of the experience of our learners and employers. Today, as David said, you're going to hear from our first-class faculty and Co-op team on Co-op education for this program. And you also have the opportunity to listen to the stories and experiences of one of our employers and a learner, which we hope will help you visualize the benefits of hiring an Algonquin College Co-op students. Now, success in Co-op is one of the best ways to prepare our students for a thriving career, and it's truly remarkable what our students achieve during their time with us, particularly right now in this really challenging period. Well, to our panelists, I want to thank you for your dedication to Co-op and for volunteering your time to share your experiences. I want to thank all of you for being here today and for supporting cooperative education here at Algonquin College. And as David said, I won't be able to stay for the whole session, but I hope it's a fruitful session for you. Ask your questions. We want to make sure you leave here well informed and eager to hire one of our Co-op students. So thank you, miigwech, and merci. Back over to you, David. Thank you.
Awesome. Claude, thank you so much. Thank you for those kind words about the Co-op experience with our students and our employers. And thank you, of course, for being here. So you have a great day and we appreciate your time.
You as well. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
So next on our agenda, I'd like to welcome Eric Marois, the Dean of our School of Advanced Technology. Eric.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks, David, for the introduction. It's great to be here. I mean, I'm a new dean. Actually, the program is older than I am, as far as dean is concerned. So I'm learning like all of you, and it is a great opportunity. I want to thank everybody for being here at the information session. This is really our first engineering degree at Algonquin College, and our faculty have put a lot of themselves in the program. So we are very excited about the opportunity that the Bachelor of Automation and Robotics will provide our students and the employers. It is a new, well, it's not a new field, but to us, it is a complementary field that we do have robotics and automation in the school. Okay. I do not want to take a lot of time. I mean, Claude said a lot of great things. Uh, please enjoy the co-ops session, the information session. I know you'll get a lot of information. If there are any question, I'm sure David will find me and will ask me to answer them. Unfortunately, I like Claude. I seem to have a lot of meetings, maybe not as many as he does, but I won't be able to stay. So I wish you a great hour. Please ask the question. If there's anything we can do for you, just let us know. You have a great team, and there's a great faculty team also. So take advantage of them. Okay, thanks, David. Back to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Eric. Thanks for being here. We appreciate your time. So you have a great day. All right, folks. So after those introductions, it's back over to me, and I'm going to talk a little bit about co-op at Algonquin College. But before we get to that, Leanne's going to launch a bit of a poll to get a sense of who's in the room with us today. So on your screen, you should see a poll momentarily with a few questions, and then we are going to share the results and then get on to the presentation. So we love to know if we have any grads in the room. That's the first question. So if I could vote, since I'm a host, I can't. I'll vote up here. I am a graduate of Algonquin College, one of my institutions, a very proud graduate. Public relations program years and years and years ago. So always love being involved with the college. I see 4 people here are Algonquin grads so far. And then the other question is around hiring co-op students. So the question is, have you hired co-op students before? Now, this could be at Algonquin College. This could be at a different institution. And one of the great things about co-op is I work with the co-op teams from across the province and across the country. And it's a very similar program. So employers should be able to have some sort of ease transitioning between programs as we hope to serve the employer community. So Leanne, I'll leave you to control the poll. So whenever you deem ready, let's get to it. All right, so I imagine folks can see this on their screen. It looks like we have a 60-40 split with grads. So we have some new people to the Algonquin College family in the room. Now, if we were in a session together, I would start to ask the yes people, of course, what program did you study? That's always fun. But the no people, one thing that I find with Algonquin College over the years is that if somebody didn't study at Algonquin, it's likely that their either spouse, son, daughter, mother, father, niece, nephew, somebody in their family has been touched by Algonquin College over the years. So those are often fun conversations to have. And this also tells me we have some experienced co-op folks here. So that's a really, really good sign. So Leanne, thank you for that. So moving right along, as Claude said, as Eric said, we love co-op here at Algonquin College. We love it for a whole host of reasons. We love it because it helps our students. It increases their learning. It's proven that it doesn't just help them with their technical and their soft skills, but it helps them mature as a student and as a future employer. And it also does result in increased GPA in their classroom performance. So it's both those soft responsibility skills and also those more technical and academic skills that they improve on. Our employers say our co-op students are more employable than students that don't have a co-op experience. So that's goes along with our mission and mandate to provide our employers with the talent that they need for their institutions to thrive, their organizations to thrive. And another reason we love it is it helps us build partnerships. And really, we think of this as a partnership with our employers who have needs. Our employers are often looking to hire the next generation of talent, and hiring through co-op is a great way to de-risk the hire. So be able to try out an employee, to give them some tasks, to work with them for 4 months or so that when you do have to make a decision around a longer term hire, you have a really good sense of what employee you would be embarking on a journey with because they worked with you through co-op terms. So when I say co-op, I use this slide in the next slide in virtually every one of my presentations. When I say co-op, this is exactly what I mean. I mean students working full-time jobs that are paid by the employer for at least 4 months in duration. So the work needs to be related to the program of study, and it takes place in between academic semesters. So when I say co-op, that's what I mean. Another way to visualize it is this graph here, this chart here. And I put this up just to differentiate between the other forms of work integrated learning. So AC co-op is on the left, what I just described, but it is different than other work integrated experiences that you may have had yourself or that you may have participated with within your organization. So when we're saying co-op, we're not talking about the high school co-op model, which you'll notice on the chart is quite a lot different. We're not talking about a clinical or an industry required a practicum like a nursing practicum, which is required to graduate and practice within the industry. We're not talking about that. And we're not talking about field placement. So when I was a student at Algonquin, I undertook a field placement, which was 7 weeks, which was unpaid, and it was 4 days a week. So it was more of a part-time basis. So I did not do co-op, I did field placement. Has its own benefits, but what we're talking about this morning is the co-op model that's embedded within this program. So along with the excellent work that our faculty members do to prepare students for jobs in the industry, co-op augments that training with supporting our students so that they can be job ready when they hit the workforce. We start to work with our students in the co-op department regarding their working experiences 8 months prior to their very first co-op work term. So this involves, of course, the nitty-gritty around getting yourself prepared for a job application process, for your resume, your cover letter. But we also work with them to develop their soft skills, to enforce the importance of communication, especially at large organizations. And then throughout the work term, we also stay in touch with the student and the employer. So once the student is working for your organization, we're still there to help with if there's any issues or questions that may come up from the student or from the employer themselves. So we don't want to get in the way of your operation, but we're there to support an operation should it not be working out, it could be better, or if you want to add co-op students to your workforce, we're there to help. Our employers come back to us every semester since 2015, with the exception of summer 2020 for a very good reason. We've had record numbers of employment at Algonquin College co-op students. So summer 2020 in COVID, that led to a different reality. Just the timing of when the pandemic hit, it did negatively impact our numbers when it came to students working in the summer. But we put in a number of measures around remote working and the ability to be a bit more flexible in a co-op work experience. And that led to a 30% increase over last year in our fall work terms. So we've been able to help our employers shift their co-op experiences into an online, remote, PPE protected environment, which helps bring us back to the record numbers of students seeking and finding co-op work terms. There's also funding incentives available for employers who choose to hire co-op students. Mark is on our team. He'll be able to help you through that process, but there's a number of them. There's tax credits, there's federal grants, depending on if you're doing research in your organization, there may be some research grants as well. And then there's also, we also have a fantastic applied research team here at Algonquin College, and there may be some opportunity to partner with that group as well. And we get to that a little bit at the end. So with that overview of co-op, I'd like to introduce you to Mark Weir. He's from the co-op team. He is an industry account manager. His all day, every day, 24/7, Mark works with our employers. So he works with our employers to understand their needs, to to recruit the students that are a right fit for their organization, and really to answer any of your Algonquin College questions. So if it's co-op, if it's employment, or even if you have a question about the college, I know Mark's always happy to have the phone ring, answer your questions, whatever it may be, and be your guide to Algonquin College. So Mark, with that, I'll turn it over to you. Welcome, and thank you for guiding us through the next part of the presentation.
Thank you so much, David. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for taking the time today to join us. We're extremely happy to have you today. I did notice from the onset that almost 75% of the employers are current co-op folks, so that's wonderful. And I noticed some familiar faces, some familiar names that I'm already working with, which is even better. And for the new folks, welcome. I look forward to working with you. So this program I'll be looking after from an account manager perspective, job developing. I also look after our mechanical engineering program, and I look after our electrical program as well. So I can see a lot of synergies between the three programs. So it sort of makes sense for me. Anyway, so we're here to help our employers. We've been helping employers for a long time, and with that help, some of the things that we do is, we assist with your job postings. Sometimes we help with job descriptions to perhaps make them, a little more marketable for our students. We provide resumes for you, and we can get you those resumes in a couple of different formats. We can help coordinate interviews, extend job offers. Basically we're here to help with the entire HR process from start to finish. We do have some flexibility, but the purpose more so of this slide is to let you know that you have a dedicated team working with you from start to finish. Next slide, please, David. This slide, you'll find this actual tab, if you will, on our co-op website. So for those of you that haven't been on our co-op website, if you simply Google Algonquin College Co-op and you go under the employer tab, this is one of the tabs you're going to see, and it basically goes through our recruitment process, which is creating an account, posting a job, reviewing applications, interviews, rank your student, finalizing the offer. Now, I've done a real top line view of that, but I can tell you firsthand as an account manager, our process is very simple. It's very easy. We've done our best over the years to make it as user-friendly as we can for not only our employers, but our students as well that are participating in co-op. But once again, you have someone like myself or other folks on the co-op team that if you're having any issues, even at the start, creating your own account, these are things that we will help you with. Once you've gone through this process once, you'll understand how easy it is to work with us and to post jobs and receive resumes. But you will have us with you every step of the way. Next slide, please. Okay, so how do I onboard a student? So basically, you've gone through our process, you've interviewed some students, you've hired one or more students. Basically what we look for in the co-op department is some sort of a mentor. Okay, now mentor doesn't mean the student would be hanging off somebody 24/7. Basically what we're looking for is someone, whether it's a supervisor, a manager, or maybe yourself, someone that the student can go to ask questions, okay? Because we want the student asking questions. We want the student doing the role right, of course, from the onset. So as long as there is some person that the student can go to, that is ideal for what we look for in co-op. Some companies offer some sort of an orientation. They sit down with our co-op students, talk about your expectations. You might learn from the student sort of maybe about their program and what their learning objectives are. And between the two of you, you can sit down and make sure that the experience is a positive one for everybody involved. We're going to be asking you during the co-op work term to provide us some feedback, usually about midway through the co-op and then at the end of the co-op. I'm happy to tell you that the amount of paperwork we ask our employers to do has been mitigated over the years. So it's not very daunting. We call them, feedback, whatever the case may be, but they're very simple to fill out. And once again, I'm always here to help you if you have any questions. And then, of course, you're going to be staying in touch with us throughout the entire work term. Next slide, please. Okay, so getting involved with our program is very simple. Okay, it could start with you contacting our team through our regular co-op email, which is at the bottom, or of course you can email me directly. Before COVID happened, I often meet with employers at their place of business. We sometimes call them coffee talks. I also go into businesses. Sometimes they want me to do a full-blown presentation. But you know what, just because we're still in the age of co-op, it doesn't mean that I can't still do these things, whether it's digitality, to go in and do a presentation for your group as well. But there's other ways to get involved with our department, as you see here. We do mock interview days. We do them at different points of the year. So we have a number of employers, and I'm assuming maybe some even on this call have participated in our mock interview days. Those are a great way to get on, used to be get on campus, but we're still going to be running these days where you can interview our students. It's a great session for our students and for the employer involved as well. You can host a networking event, or we can host it for you. I've had companies in the past from the technology area who have said, Mark, you know what? I love coming to job fairs, but every once in a while I want to own the stage. I don't want to share the stage. So we can certainly set up something for you where, we get you in front of students. You can, do a presentation about your company, and you can really zero in on the students you're looking to hire. Now, that's whether it's co-op or whether it's graduates as well. Also, we have an applied research team. Sometimes employers have projects that they want to work directly with applied research. So we have those opportunities as well. If you have something that maybe you've got on the back burner, or maybe it's brand new and you could really use some help from our experts here at the college. So at the end of the day, there are many ways to work with Algonquin College, market your business, get yourself more exposure, and I'm always happy to talk about those potential opportunities. Next slide, please. So at Algonquin College, of course, we have over 200 full-time programs. Right now, we're just over 40 programs that have a built-in co-op component. Of course, the one we're discussing today is now one of our newest co-op programs. But if you take a look at this slide here, we also have some other bachelor's degrees that have a built-in mandatory co-op. There are other programs that are a voluntary co-op, which means the students decide when they come to school if they would like to participate in co-op, and they go through our process. Of course, they have to have a certain GPA. There are certain parameters around that help them get into co-op and, of course, stay in co-op. So the great thing is that when you hire an Algonquin student, you're getting not only a well-prepared student, you're getting an academically inclined student. And a lot of the times they're doing co-op over and above their studies. So, our feeling is you're getting a motivated student, a well-rounded student, and of course, a very motivated student. So, and once again, these are just a handful of the programs that are available to you. All right, so that's it for me. I believe my email, hopefully, I believe at the end, may be shared. If not, you can certainly reach me. If you go onto our co-op webpage, you'll see our entire team. Of course, I'm there as an account manager. If you would like to reach out to me, please do it anytime. I'm always happy to speak with employers, whether it's email or whether it's on the phone. And of course, I'm here to be your direct contact moving forward for any questions you have, whether it's co-op or anything else Algonquin College related. Thank you again for coming on today's call. Look forward to working with all of you. And I'll pass it back to Leanne for our business needs poll.
Mark, that was great. Thank you for that clarity. Maybe you want to put your email address in the chat. So if people have the inclination to copy it down now, then they can do so. Otherwise, we do have it at the end of the presentation. But yeah, thank you for doing that. And just to underscore, like Mark said, there's a whole host of ways to get involved with Algonquin College, and give Mark a buzz, and he'll be able to put you in touch with the right folks you need to be in touch with. So Leanne.
Yeah.
All right.
So you'll be able to see the poll now.
Awesome. So we're just trying to get a little bit of a sense of what skills the folks on the call are looking for in their hires. So we'll leave this up for a little bit if you can take some time. And then question number 2 is about identifying any potential barriers that you may see at your organization, because that's one thing that's a big part of Mark's role, is to help you overcome your barriers.
And I just want to say again, for those of you watching on YouTube, there is a comments section on the right-hand pane where you can enter any of your questions to the poll. I've copy and pasted the poll questions, and if you want to communicate with me there, I'll bring up your questions live during the session.
All right. Now, Leanne, just a quick question around process with this particular survey or poll. Now, do attendees, are they able to select multiple skills?
Yeah, they're all multiple choice, and you can select more than one.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's great. So we're just coming up to 2 minutes on the poll. So we'll close it down in just a few moments, let everyone get their selections in. And then Leanne, you can close it and go ahead and share whenever you feel like it.
Okay, sounds good.
Great.
And I'm going to close poll now.
Great.
Can you see the results?
All right. I can see the results. Other people see the results? Yeah. Right on. So this is really useful for us, and it's cool. I'd love to hear about the other as well. It tells us what we need to do to inform our students about how to best write their resumes, cover letters, and be a desirable candidate. It also helps inform our program of study. And then lastly here, the question number 2 is really to help Mark get involved with your organization to help you overcome these barriers. So I see there's one, the response was uncertain of process. Well, Mark's your guy. He'll be able to get you through that, no problem. And then there was a question around workload. A couple folks may have indicated that they may not have the workload for their co-op students. So that's a conversation with Mark. Because we have a sense of the amount of work that our co-op students can do, but we don't want to enter into an engagement where there isn't enough work. So what it could be is not this time. call us back next semester. We'll see if we have more work at that time that a co-op student can do, because we really want these students to be put to work as an employee in your organization. It shouldn't be a make work project for you, and it shouldn't be a hassle or something where you're doing a favor to take a student. We'd rather the relationship where our students can be really contributing to the work that you're doing. So if there isn't enough work at the moment, hey, that's no problem with us. We'll just be in touch the next time to see if things have changed, or if you win a new contract or have a new research project or whatever it may be, give us a buzz and we'll be able to sort it out from there. So there's never any pressure from us to hire once you've posted, because we're always looking for the correct fit with the student and the employer. Great. So Leanne, thank you for that. Okay, so moving on, I'm welcoming Chandika here. She's from our Bachelor of Automation and Robotics program, professor, coordinator. She's going to bring us some of the details on the program. So Chandika, welcome, and over to you. I'll control the slides as you see fit.
Thank you, David, for the introduction, and good morning, and thank you everyone for joining this event. I'm the program coordinator for the Bachelor of Automation and Robotics program. This program was developed after carefully considering the industry demand in the area. There is a significant demand for this program because a lot of manufacturing is moving towards automation. As the picture illustrates that the program combines the three main areas of engineering, such as mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and computer science, to pursue in a career in the field of automation and robotics. It's significant that all these three fields are known, since mechanical assemblies are essentially allow things to move, electrical components that controls the mechanical actions, and the software which are necessary to coordinate the system, which is basically the heart of an industrial automation. So this program gives the fundamental knowledge in these three areas, which is, I think, is very crucial for an industrial automation. This is an Ontario's College Honors degree, which is an equivalent of a bachelor's program in university. And for that reason, it's full 4 years. I would say 4 years with an asterisk, since unlike traditional university program, it's an 11 semesters instead of 8. What's that means? For 3 summers, students will be either in class or in co-op. And the reason for this is not because of we are trying to jump back the program with full of courses. It's because in these 4 years, we are also introducing 12 months co-op. This program also includes a comprehensive final year projects, and Algonquin College is also considering having this program become accredited. We are looking to apply for accreditation with the first cohorts that's graduating. If this program becomes credited program, the students will be able to very quickly apply and becomes professional engineer. Now, the good thing about co-op is that it's organized in such a way that 12 months co-op will count towards the work requirement for professional engineer licensing. As we move on to the next slide, we can see that within the first 2 years of the program, the students were able to acquire the following technical skills. Could you please move the previous slide, David? Sorry, the second one. No, the second one. Next
So, yeah, that's the next slide that I have.
I see. Okay, so next one maybe. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
So like we can see that within the first 2 years of the program, the students were able to acquire the following technical skills from their core courses. In addition to this, like what are the technical skills? 3D modeling, they were studying SolidWorks, and in terms of programming, Java, C++, Python, and also we are planning to introduce technomatics, which are most widely used in manufacturing industries. That includes robot expert. And also in the next level, level 4, before coming to the COP 1, they are also studying VHDL language. In terms of circuit prototyping, so they're all familiar with soldering, breadboarding, and in fact, they're also using multisim in the electrical electronic circuits as well. They also acquired testing skills besides fundamentals of mechanical and electrical engineering analysis. And please note that they have all completed 5 math courses. In addition to the soft skills, they have also acquired, in addition to the technical skills, sorry, they have also acquired soft skills such as communication skills, teamwork, and time management skills. Report writing from the communication and academic writing courses in terms of like how to write a report. And secondly, teamwork, multiple group projects. They have learned all these skills from the course projects such as machine shop, introduction to robotics course, as well as industrial robotics projects. So they know very well how to work in a team environment. And on the top of that, time management skills, we do have self-guided lab. For instance, in the level 1 physics course, they do have self-guided labs and multi milestone projects. So these skills they learn from the courses such as machine shop projects, same introduction to robotics and industrial robotic project course. The previous slide, please. Besides, they will be studying the following core courses before attending the second and third co-op. The courses are mechatronics, which is the heart of the heart course of the Bachelor of Automation and Robotics program. In addition to that, fluid mechanics and hydraulics, dynamics of machineries, control systems, mechanics of solids. And before the co-op 3, real-time systems and embedded system programming. This is the advanced version of C and C++. Mechanical system designs, heat transfer and thermodynamics, etc., etc. That's it from me. Thank you, everyone.
Great, thank you, Chandika. Great overview there. So thank you for that. And the structure of that program means that there's a Bachelor of Automation and Robotics student always available, because you've noticed that we had one of the work terms, and I'll go back to the slide. On this slide, there's one work term that takes place in the spring, one work term that takes place in the winter, and one work term that takes place in the fall. So that by the time we're in the 3rd year of the program, we'll always have a student available for your needs. This is a tried and true model that we've used before with other previous degree programs here. And it is it's recognized as a nationally accreditable structure from a co-op perspective. So great job in the structure of setting this program up. All right, so moving right along, Ranjan is right there. There he is. Good morning, Ranjan. He is one of our co-op employers. He's the program office manager at the Communications Security Establishment. Can you please say a few words?
Thank you, David. So I'm happy to say I'm an Algonquin alum as well, and actually an alum from 2 co-op programs when I was doing my master's in public administration, and also with Algonquin. So I've been on both sides of it, where I've benefited from being in a co-op program as a student. I first got into government as a policy analyst, and then retrained in IT at Algonquin, and back out through co-op, and I've had 22 years in the on the IT side within the government. So I can tell you that co-op is invaluable. It really works, and it doesn't just work for the students, which I want to talk a bit about later on. So my experience with Algonquin has been actually multifold. So when I was working at CBSA, we were looking at building in the steel clothesline a pipeline. Build a pipeline of technically savvy, recent hires, recent students who bring in the technical skills to really push us forward in our mandate for the agency. And so I started working with Algonquin College. I'm happily part of 3 PACs, Program Advisory Committees, and I've worked with the capstone projects with the mobile application design and development, and the industry PAC to come with the human-centered design programs. And the reason why I mention those is because those have given me a great deal of insight into what Algonquin's doing now, because I was there, 23 years ago. It's been a while, and it's a completely different place. I've gone there many, many times since, and uh, it's phenomenal. It's a beautiful campus. There's a lot going on. It's very forward thinking, and the students coming out bring that with them, and they bring that technical savviness as well as the motivation. So one thing I really wanted to call out specifically in working with the co-op program at Algonquin College is CAL, which is a Center for Accessible Learning. Uh, CAL is really, it's a really important piece of co-op to give, to expose people who maybe need a little bit more accommodation when they're working, to be able to be excellent employees, excellent co-op students. And it's really an underutilized area within co-op. So that's why I'm really trying to call it out. And the AC, the co-op AC program does a fantastic job in strengthening the hiring practices for students who require some accommodation. They'll help with pre-prepping for interviews, having those often difficult accommodation discussions in advance with the student, and then being able to bridge those conversations with the employer, which has been absolutely fantastic. I was very pleased to be able to bring somebody in through the program, and it turned out to be an incredible opportunity for myself. It truly was. I grew quite a bit. I learned quite a bit, and I know I have quite a bit more to learn, and I look forward to that opportunity. So the other thing that was great was the on-site visits with the co-op office and the students. So they come on site, they sit down privately with the student, or find out how things are going, and then they'll have that private discussion as well with the hiring manager to find out the same, and really compare notes and see, is this a successful situation? Are there some tweaks that can happen to make it more successful than it is? And that's really, that's the support the Algonquin College Co-op really brings to the employer co-op student relationship, to really strengthen it and make sure that it is successful for everybody involved. I don't really want to sit here and just echo everything that Mark had said, because everything that Mark had said is absolutely true. Hire AC is very easy to use. The resumes are provided to hiring managers digitally. You're able to look through them, parse through them. You can work with the co-op office in order to be able to schedule interviews, particularly speaking with people out of the CAL program, if you will, or that Center of Accessible Learning. Sometimes it's a lot better, and this is what I did, it's a lot better to have that interview on premises at Algonquin College. It reduces a lot of the anxiety for the students because it's a familiar surrounding for them. And it allows them to, even at the last minute, be able to say, you know what, I think I want somebody from Algonquin here as well, because I'm feeling a little bit more anxious than I thought. And there's somebody outside the door, because within the co-op office, there are these breakout rooms where you can have that discussion, you can have the interview, and there's somebody out there. And that sort of comfort level is really important. So not always bringing students into your workplace is something that should be, I think, considered, because the anxiety level can be pretty high. Some of these students are quite young, some are quite mature, so it may not be intimidating whatsoever. But for some of these students, it might be their first professional interaction, first professional environment. So I urge you as hiring managers to look at that option of being able to do interviews at Algonquin College. It's a fantastic campus, and it really reduces that anxiety, and you'll get to know who you're looking at hiring more than just the anxiety that they present in an interview situation. And the last thing I'll say on that point is there's absolute truth to the co-op department is very much working to ensure that this is a successful co-op term, both for the hiring manager and for the students themselves. Next slide, please, David. So the one thing that I really want to hit on here is, because we don't often think about it, is the benefits of co-op for the hiring manager. Look, I've been in the government for 24 years now. I've done a lot of hiring, but I have a lot to learn. I'm the first one to tell you, I will learn every day. I will continue to adapt every day because I need to. So one of the things that doing this allows you to do is, first of all, build relationships with HR within your own organization. And everybody here knows how valuable that is on many fronts. within your organization. So keeping that relationship with with HR, very important. It allows you to continue to practice interviewing because I don't care how many interviews you've done. I've done interviews for at least 15 years in the government. You need to continually adapt, refine, and perfect your technique. And this allows you to do that. You learn how the current generation works. The demographics change. The new generations, they think differently, they act differently, and they work differently. But that doesn't mean they're technically any less capable, and they're probably technically far more capable than you and I. So we just have to learn how to interact with them to be able to pull out the best and be able to ensure that that's incorporated into the organizational culture. It allows you to enhance your ability to manage in different situations, again, different demographics, different people. And so you need to learn how to manage with those different people. You know, one of the things that's really important is they bring new perspectives on old problems. So at CBSA, as in many and probably all government departments, we have legacy systems, and we kind of get into a mindset of how we're going to deal with those legacy systems. It'd be kind of nice to have these new thoughts, these new ideas, bringing new technical knowledge to the table to approach problems in a different way. It can be incredibly powerful. And you get to find strong candidates for future hiring, of course. I brought in 3 students in April of 2019, and I'm happy to say that 2 of them, I was able to hire them full time. We still have the 3rd, and we're hoping to bring him in. I'm no longer at CBSA, but I'm hoping that'll be the case. So it's really been very good for us. So finding strong candidates is an important piece as well. Getting quick access to candidates through this IRAC, you really do get fairly quickly access to very technically savvy people. And again, to steal Chloe's line, you build a pipeline for qualified candidates and with academia. The more you get to know a program, the more you might have an ability to influence the program. And in truth, that's what Algonquin wants. They want to be able to, and that's what these packs are about. They want to be able to say, we're not sitting off in an academic corner in the ivory tower saying, this is what the industry needs. This is what we're going to teach. They want to know, what does the industry require? That's what we want to teach. We want to get people out there so that they're fully employable when they're done. Last slide, David, please. So the benefits of co-op for students. I put cloud computing, I put RPA because we were able to fortunately bring these students in and provide them with opportunities in both of those environments, which are pretty new. RPA is pretty new in the industry. It's hard to find any resources that have that capability. And cloud computing is pretty new in the government. So having those opportunities available to them, they were able to bring their knowledge and technical skills, and we were able to provide them with an opportunity to be able to do some pretty great things for us. So it also allows co-op students to strengthen their soft skills. For many of them, if they're younger students, this may be their first crack at a professional environment. And so they'll be able to see, what kind of soft skills do I really need? What kind of communication skills do I need to acquire, refine, and improve upon? It allows them to make contact. Organizational culture, it allows them to understand what a professional organizational culture is. But it also allows them to see what the organizational culture is in the organization that hires them. And it allows them to know whether or not they even want to work there. Because hiring them, we're not doing them any favors. We're bringing in people who are skilled, and they have many opportunities as well. So it gives them obviously work experience. Test domain assumptions. So what I was thinking there was, sometimes people have preconceived notions. I want to work in the private sector, or I want to work in the public sector. One of the great things is, hopefully, and I would encourage, if students were on the call, I would encourage them to say, if you think of, you want to work in the private sector, try a co-op in the public sector, see what it's about, test those domain assumptions that you have. You may be surprised. And I think based on what I know of people's assumptions about government, I think they will be surprised at the pace of change, the pace of activity is quite different than I think people think. Finally, and I'm sure I'm over time and I apologize, it gives the students an opportunity to practice interviewing, because this is going to be tough for them. And I absolutely implore you as hiring managers, please go in there understanding these are students, understanding that they have anxiety. And if you see that they have anxiety during the interview or at the onset, try to break them out of that. If you have to go down to the cafeteria, go to the cafeteria, get them out of the environment if they're stressed. That's really, really important. You're not giving them an opportunity to demonstrate who they are, who they truly and authentically are, but you're also keeping them in a tense, anxious situation, and it doesn't need to be like that. Don't be stuck in, I'm doing an interview because I booked a boardroom, and whether they're comfortable or not, we're going to pound through this. Take the opportunity to lighten it up and go for a walk if you have to, if it's a nice day. But that's the way you're going to really learn about these students, and you're going to give them an opportunity to be more relaxed and demonstrate who they really are. So I'll stop now. Thank you for the opportunity.
Ranjan, thank you for being here. Great overview. Thank you for sharing your experience. And I think the one thing that jumps out with your remarks is the theme of the care that you put towards your students. And I would probably extrapolate that to your any new hire and existing hire that you have, that you treat them with this care, with a sense of making it the best for them, which makes it the best for you. And then also your theme of learning. So most folks think students learn from their supervisors, which they do, but you reminded us that we learn from our supervisors, but we also learn from our students and our employees as well, that cyclical loop of learning and feedback, which is really quite excellent. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being such a great employer, supporting our students through our Cal office and all the great things you do for us. Thank you so much, Ranjan.
Appreciate it. Thank you, David.
So moving on to our last speaker today, Kaya is here. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. Mechanical Engineering Technology Co-op student. So we got a few slides here. Why don't you take the mic and share your experience with us? Thank you for being here.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. I borrowed someone's computer. Sorry. My name is Kaya, like David said. And yeah, I'm here to share my experience so far. And the co-op started to me 2 semesters before this one, because we had instruction how to make our resume, how to behave, how to dress properly and such. And 1 semester before that, we had like the semester for looking for jobs opportunities and how to have the right resume for that specific job, and how to prepare ourselves for the interview, which is very important. Without practice, it's different. We can get froze up, like you said, Rajan, and it's important to have some practice before we actually make the interview. So I had 2 mock interviews and a lot of back and forth with my resume before I could communicate how my abilities were to the job that I want. And yeah, and I got this co-op here at Devater Industries, and which it is a fairly mechanical based industry, and we make a lot of customization, and we work a lot with for D&D, Health Canada, and another private companies. And my role here as a junior project manager, it is to understand what the customer wants, get through what our possibilities it is as a factory. If we cannot attend the customer, we need to outsource that equipment or labor, let's say, and communicate with the shop as well to get the message by drawings, verbally. And what is important here, it is that since the beginning, I understand that I am a student, but I I need to feel that I am responsible and I have a certain amount of pressure over me so that I can perform better. Next slide, please. So from our course, we had 2 semesters of SolidWorks, which is a very good software, and I can see it's very well used in the industry. So I use that every day, and a lot of our customers and partners also use that. I also had an introduction to C++, which helped me in some of the tasks here. And some highlights that I can provide here is from co-op. I learned so much faster than by reading content or just by seeing a class, because it's make a mistake and learn from it. And this is very different, because when you have an exam, for example, you have a certain amount of time and a lot of pressure, and you cannot talk with your colleague or access the internet. And in our workplaces, it's very different. You should ask your colleague for advice. You should go on internet. It's not about not cheating. It is about pick the right information that works for your customer and for your product. So it's only possible to have that with the co-op experience and be part of a company which you are one of the gears that make the whole system works. So that's all I have here. If you have any questions, I'm glad to answer them.
Kaya, thank you for your remarks. Thank you for your representing Algonquin College so well during your work term and here today. So thank you for doing that. I know you're making time out of your day to do that with us. You know, as one of our very talented international students, it takes courage to leave a home country and come to Canada and not only undertake education, but undertake a employment and do so well at it. So that's really a courageous thing to do. Thank you for doing that. Great work.
Thank you. I'm glad. My pleasure.
Awesome. That's great. So now we're at the questions stage. So if there's any questions right now, you can click on the participant window at the bottom, and then there's a raise hand feature. So we have all of our panelists still here to answer any questions. It could be of Ranjan, Kaya, Mark, myself, Chandika, anybody on the call. Feel free to ask questions. We're happy to entertain them now. If any questions came into the chat box, Mark will bring those forward for us. But other than that, floor is open, folks.
We do have one question in the chat, and everyone feel free to type your question in the chat too if you don't want to speak live. Marie Christine is asking, how many students are currently enrolled in the co-op stream of this program? Maybe that's a question for Chandika.
It's true. No worries. We have currently in the first batch of BAR program, we have 28 students. So at present, we have 22 students. They are all eligible to attend the first co-op.
David, I'm having some technical issues. I might have to leave and then come back in, but if you can just monitor the chat, if there's any questions, that'd be great.
Yeah, of course.
I'm keeping an eye on the chat, David. There's no new ones. We're getting lots of thank yous, of course. People logging off. It's a big room of what we call co-op friendlies, folks that are already working with us, which is wonderful. So that might be why we don't have as many questions. So.
Okay, I see one here. When will the first cohort be eligible to begin a work term? So they would start in May of 2021. Those students are currently in their preparation semester, so the co-op team is working with them on readiness, and then they start applying for jobs in January. So if you have, so that's our timeline. If you require a certain level of security clearance that may take longer than that timeline, do get in touch with Mark. We can provide some options around early or different forms of soliciting these resumes a little earlier for you for security clearance reasons. But if security clearance is not a worry for you, then send us a job description. November, December sort of time frame, students will start applying over the holidays. And then resumes will be in your inbox. I have the exact date for you. It's just not welded in my brain quite yet. On the 19th day of January.
Yeah, and the other thing I would add to that, David, for Marie-Christine or all of our other folks on the call, I always recommend to my employers, if you know your budgets, right, and you sort of know what your needs are, you're best to post your job as early as possible. Most employers, if they know their budgets, they know our first sort of deadline is sort of that mid-January. So posting your job in December or very early January, the advantage to that, of course, is you're casting the largest net, right? You're capturing the largest amount of applications, the most motivated students. So like I said, if you have your budgets and you want to post early, always a great idea. Okay.
Hey guys, it's Dan from Skills Ontario.
Hey, Dan.
How you doing?
Good.
Dan, good
I'm
to
not
see
here
you
as
again,
an
Dan.
employer. I'm here more as like a partner. Through Skills Ontario, we promote careers in skilled trades and technologies. That's why I'm here today. The technology part got me. I do a lot of work with the skilled trades part with Sean Barr and all the gang. If there's anything that Skills Ontario with our sponsors who are in the tech world, if we could connect you with them, I'd be happy to do that. I'm sure we'll talk again after this meeting. But just wanted to put it out there that we have a lot of sponsors from Skills that are always looking. And if there's anything we can do to help, that's one thing I'd like to talk to you about if possible. Just want to throw that out there. And thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Dan, I think that's a great partnership. And Dan, nice to see you again.
How you doing, buddy? You
Dan and I
me,
work.
don't you?
I do. Yes, of course. Dan and I worked together at Algonquin many, many moons ago. So
Long back, yeah.
yeah, I saw the name and I was hoping it was you, and it is. So that's great.
It is me. So I talked to Mark last week. So if you guys want to set up something, we can chat about things we can do together like we do with the trade side. But I'd like to focus on when I saw robotics, one of our major competitions, and this is for your employers online as well. Every year at the Big Skills Ontario competition, the students participate in all kinds of competitions from skilled trades to technologies. One of them is the robotics program. There's students that are in high school that create their own robots and everything. So this is something, if you're interested in any of that stuff and check that out, happy to help you with that as well. And, between Algonquin, myself, and Algonquin's a big supporter of Skills Ontario. So that's why I'm here. So there's lots that we can look at, I'm sure, to promote your program to the students that are in our schools right now all across the province. So anyways, I don't want to take up time. I just want to say hi. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to this. This sounds really awesome. It was a great presentation.
Gorgeous. Thanks, Dan. And yeah.
Okay, guys.
Stay in touch.
Thanks, Dan.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. I see the questions sort of slowing down a little bit in here. And I was just before we had that last conversation, I was just going to jump on one of Mark's points around the timing of those postings. What the posting early also enables you to do is if you don't have desirable candidates in that first round, it gives you some extra time to to continue to post throughout that semester. So we're saying the best time is December, early January, but in reality, we accept job postings from all of our employers almost all the way up to May. So if your budget doesn't get set, I know some of us have a January 1 fiscal, some of us have a an April 1 fiscal. So if it's, you don't know your fiscal, the decisions, you get your budget on April 1, on April 2, now you know for sure you can hire, still pick up the phone, give Mark a buzz. We're always going to have students around at Algonquin. One of the slides said we have 2,500 co-op students. And that means active co-op students seeking work term within the year. Our total number of co-op students, which means in a co-op program, is around 4,000, which is one of the largest in the province. So we always have thousands of co-op students in the pipeline. So at any time, give Mark a buzz and he'll be able to tell you the lay of the land and say, hey, we got 17 left, we got 4 left, we got 400 left, whatever it may be. Awesome. So what we won't, yep, very good point. Ranjan, don't forget to ask for resumes from Cal. And again, Cal is our Center for Accessible Learning there to add to the co-op team. So we work together with them. So the Center for Accessible Learning plus a co-op representative plus the employer work together. And those are really great experiences. So thank you. Great. So Juan, thank you for the question here. Who's the appropriate contact? Mark Weir is the appropriate contact for this program. Mark, why don't you type in your email address to the chat and let Juan know. Thank you for being here, Juan. Mark's your guy, and he'll be able to have the program level expertise on that front. And then should it be more detailed questions, then we'll, of course, bring in our faculty friends to help. But Mark will be your guy. Thank you. Well, there it is. So weirm@algonquincollege.com. And a little trick for anybody on the call, if you know somebody who works at Algonquin College, the trick is you can type their first name, then dot their last name, and that's a secondary email address that gets routed through to the right person. So it's david.hall@algonquincollege.com. So that's pretty cool. So we'll hang out a little bit longer on the phone line, but if questions do start to dwindle, we'll let everybody go a little bit early. If you've got what you needed out of this presentation, please feel free to step away. Before you do, could you please fill out the survey that Leanne has put into the chat box? It's only 3 questions. It takes less than a minute to complete. And we do this every single session. We have student, employer, faculty to give us more feedback on how we can improve this for next time for our employers. For our students or for our employees. So really important. We look at every single one of these every single time. We read every single comment. And I mentioned it off the top. We've made improvements from just 2 weeks ago based on this survey. So thank you so much for doing that. We'll hang out a little bit longer. But like I said, we probably won't. If it's going to be silent for the next 16 minutes, we probably will sign off a little bit early. Otherwise, thanks everybody for being here. And do stay in touch. Any questions? Mark is your fella. And if you forget about it, then you can always just, if you forget Mark, you can always Google Algonquin College Co-op, and you'll find our contact us page right there.
I'll also be sending a follow-up email to everyone who registered for this event with a recording of the event, with the survey link, and of course, Mark's contact information. And if you do have questions, always feel free to reply to me, and I can send it over to Mark as well. Thanks everyone for being here.
Yeah, that's great. So thank you, Lan. Ranjan, thank you once again. Kaya, thank you once again. Chandika as well. Thank you once again for participation today. You've been great.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kaya. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, well done.
Okay, I think it's just our internal people now.
Ending live stream.
Okay.
And we'll end the recording as well.
Oh, yes, of course.
Live stream is over.
Thanks, Shannon.